The image most people recognize did not appear overnight. Long before global fame, before blockbuster films and international interviews, there was a quiet beginning shaped by discipline, distance, and persistence. This documentary explores the full journey of Chris Hemsworth, tracing the path from an ordinary upbringing to worldwide recognition, and examining why attention has once again returned to this figure at this specific moment in time. This story covers early life, personal background, education, the first steps into a competitive industry, the gradual rise to visibility, major career milestones, professional challenges, and the evolving public image. It also takes a close and detailed look at why Chris Hemsworth is trending right now, what triggered the renewed global discussion, and why this moment matters more than previous peaks of attention. The early years were defined by movement and adaptation. Childhood was spent in environments that valued physical activity, resilience, and independence. Growing up away from major entertainment centers meant that exposure to the industry came mostly through television and imagination, rather than direct access. Family life emphasized balance rather than ambition, with no clear expectation that global fame was a realistic or even desirable goal. Education followed a standard path, with interests spread across sports, outdoor activity, and creative expression. Acting was not initially framed as a long-term career plan. Instead, it emerged gradually as an interest worth exploring. Early participation in local performances and auditions introduced the realities of rejection, competition, and uncertainty. These experiences built patience rather than instant success. The professional journey began modestly. Early work involved television roles that provided stability and experience but limited visibility outside local audiences. These projects offered valuable lessons in discipline, consistency, and character development. They also created an understanding of how demanding long-term production schedules could be. Recognition at this stage was narrow, but it laid a foundation that would later prove essential. The transition from regional work to international opportunities did not happen quickly. Auditions for larger projects often ended without results. Several high-profile rejections occurred during this period, reinforcing the unpredictable nature of the industry. Rather than halting progress, these setbacks refined focus and commitment. Persistence became a defining trait. The breakthrough came when Chris Hemsworth secured a role that placed physical presence, performance discipline, and screen charisma at the center of attention. This moment changed career momentum almost instantly. Global audiences were introduced to a new figure whose appearance and performance aligned with the demands of large-scale cinema. The role did more than create fame. It established long-term association with a powerful franchise and reshaped professional expectations. As visibility increased, opportunities expanded. Major productions spanning action, drama, and commercial entertainment. Each project contributed to a broader public identity while also reinforcing typecasting challenges. Balancing market demand with creative growth became an ongoing concern. Strategic role selection helped avoid stagnation while maintaining mainstream appeal. Achievements during this phase included box office success, international recognition, and inclusion in cultural discussions beyond cinema. Chris Hemsworth became associated not only with performance, but with physical transformation, preparation routines, and professional discipline. Media coverage increasingly focused on lifestyle, training, and longevity rather than individual performances alone. Despite success, challenges remained. Repetition within similar roles raised questions about creative limits. Some projects underperformed, drawing mixed critical response. These moments highlighted the difficulty of evolving within a highly commercial system. Public expectations sometimes conflicted with artistic experimentation, forcing careful navigation between risk and reliability. Health concerns also entered public discussion at different points, reminding audiences that longevity in high-intensity careers carries real costs. These moments shifted public perception, adding complexity to an image once defined mainly by strength and endurance. Transparency around these issues created a more grounded connection with audiences. The most significant current discussion centers on why Chris Hemsworth is trending right now. This renewed attention did not come from a single announcement alone, but from a combination of recent media appearances, project updates, and public conversations surrounding long-term career sustainability. The trend began after a widely circulated interview and related media coverage highlighted reflections on workload, future planning, and personal priorities.
These comments were interpreted as a possible shift in career direction rather than a simple promotional statement. The timing amplified the impact. Audiences were already discussing franchise fatigue, aging within action roles, and the future of long-running cinematic universes. When Chris Hemsworth addressed these topics openly, the conversation expanded rapidly. Clips from interviews circulated across platforms, drawing attention to comments about balance, selective work, and redefining success beyond constant output. This trend matters now because it marks a transition point. Earlier attention focused on physical transformation and blockbuster dominance. The current discussion centers on sustainability, legacy, and evolution. People are talking about it now because the industry itself is changing. Audiences are more aware of burnout, long-term health, and the pressures placed on performers. Chris Hemsworth has become part of that broader conversation. Media analysis framed this moment as reflective rather than reactive. Rather than signaling withdrawal, it suggested strategic recalibration. The public response showed increased respect for transparency and thoughtful career management. This shift explains why the trend feels more substantial than previous viral moments tied only to film releases. Public reaction has been largely measured and supportive. Coverage emphasizes maturity and foresight rather than decline. Fans interpret the moment as growth, not retreat. Industry commentary views it as an example of adapting to a changing entertainment landscape, where longevity depends on flexibility. Currently, Chris Hemsworth remains active, visible, and professionally stable. Future possibilities include more selective roles, involvement behind the camera, or expansion into areas that align with long-term personal priorities. None of these paths suggest disappearance. Instead, they indicate evolution. The long-term legacy continues to take shape. Beyond individual performances, the impact lies in redefining what sustained success can look like in a physically demanding profession. Influence extends to how careers are discussed, managed, and valued over time. This story is not about a single rise or a sudden pause. It is about progression, adaptation, and awareness. The journey of Chris Hemsworth reflects broader changes in the entertainment industry and public expectations. As attention continues to shift from constant output to meaningful longevity, this moment stands as a defining chapter. If you want more deep, factual documentaries that explore not just fame, but the forces behind it, make sure to subscribe and stay connected for future stories.